on layers and then use those to sort of affect a bunch of layers all at once. So last time we got most of the interface done. But none of it actually does anything yet. So I need to add some way of selecting a tag to effect on a state. And then I need to basically put in the actual functionality that does the thing. So, hey, thank you for the watch streak. Yeah, okay, so what am I doing? I think what I'll do first is I will add the method of selecting tags into the state menu. So where's that? States pop-up is somewhere around here. Maybe it's on the main one. Draw states GUI. There it is. So what I think I need to do is I should add in like a tab where we've got, hey, Leafy Frog, you're second. Welcome in. I think what we'll do is I'll have a tab that lets you have the layers on one tab and then the tags on the next tab. So if I go down, thank you, Leafy. Right, so that is down here somewhere on the table, yeah. So if GUI begin tab bar, right, what I need to do first, and then GUI and tab bar, and then if GUI begin tab item, yep, IntelliSense actually intelligently sensing what I wanted to do for once. So we'll call that one layers. And that is where this is going to go. In the layers tab. And then I'm going to basically do a very similar thing on the other one. Just realized I need to do an end tab item. Oh, not end tab bar, end tab item. That, I think, needs a ID, doesn't it? There we go. So I'm actually pretty much going to copy that, to be honest. And this one's going to be tags. And then we have tag name. And auto something in tags, so T, I guess, in tags. Tag list. There it is. T dot. Simply a string. So, hey Chip, how's it going? actually what that's doing is actually I do need to do that per, I still need to do this per layer actually, I think. Sort of. Yeah, I think that's what I need to do. So if we're in this tab, I still need to set all the layer states that don't exist in the map yet to no change. That still needs to be done. Then I need to do tags, put tag list. But that is going to be not relevant, so I'll get rid of that. Don't have colors for the tags. Oh, I need to get rid of the pop style color. I need something called tag states, I think. C++ supremacy, let's go. Yeah. I think yeah. I need to remind myself how these states actually work, to be honest. But yeah, I do need to save something about what tags are being activated per state. So the state is a states info, so I need something in states info. Where is that? States info, there we are. Okay, so yeah, this is literally going to be the same as the other one. So actually that's going to be tag states. And in fact, let's do that this way as well. I've just realized what I'm doing now. So tag states. We're setting all the tags to no change if they didn't already exist in the list. And then we set them to be whichever thing we're doing. Cool. So that's hopefully going to show us a list of tags. Let's have a look. When it builds. Okay, so on my layer, I need to add some tags. So I'll call that one test. And I'll have one called tag, and I'll have one called face. And that will do for now. Then on the states menu, add one. Okay, we've got tabs. Cool. So we've got layers, the layer, and then tags. So a tag is going to be shown. Okay. And that should have stayed where it is. Yeah. Somebody did also ask that I could have these tables be a set height so that you can scroll through them. So I think I'll do that as well. Basically, I need the sort of frame to stay the same. No, it's the last one in the list. Or basically, if there's empty space at the bottom, I want the table to take up all that empty space. So might as well do that while I'm here. Cute. Hey, thanks. And Maddie the Best Girl, thank you very much for the 5-stream streak. Appreciate it. Yay, head pats. Yippee. How you doing, Bug? Good, just woke up. Fair enough. I don't remember how I set up this. There's like a frame, I think. There's the collapsing header for the state itself. Okay, I guess I don't have a frame. I thought I did. Ah, the table is a fixed height there. That's what this is. So actually I want table height as a float. And it's going to default to be that size. Which is, what was it? 200F, 200 times UI scale. Okay. That's going to be that. Ooh. Please work with me, cursor. There we go. So the table height is going to be that, but then it's going to adjust itself. Plus, however much space there was left at the end last time. So, I need to store that somewhere. Let's have that actually down here next to the other states menu stuff. States menu leftover space is 0. So we're adding that on here. But then after we've drawn all the interface, we can say at the end of the pop-up, we go get the cursor position. We just need the Y actually, so that can be a float. I don't need to be lazy. And then pop up height. Xenoblade X music jump scare. Yeah. I love this track. It's good. This was in Oblivia, the desert one, wasn't it? I used to just go to this area in the game and just like hang out and listen to the music. I always loved like climbing over the wrecked like UFOs and stuff there and trying to find secrets, but yeah. Right, pop-up height is, do we get current window size? Current window, no. Get content region max. I think that's what I want. And then leftover space is pop-up height minus cursor pos. Let's see if that works. Literally booted X back up yesterday to start chapter 13 finally. Nice. Is that the end? Because basically I've got all the way to the end and then just there's that difficulty spike where you've got a level 50, like I think the best skill you can get at that point is a level 50. And then the enemy that you've got to fight is like suddenly level 70 and you're just completely outclassed. And I don't understand how to level myself up to the point where I can actually kill it. Let's say this actually has to be a minimum of 0. Because I don't want negative cursor space, leftover space. Chapter 13 is the part added in the Switch version after the normal ending. Ooh, okay. I don't have the Switch version, I have the Wii U version. I didn't know they... Wait. I do remember hearing about the reboot on the Switch again now, and I'd totally forgotten that existed. Damn. Chip, you might have to, like, come to my house and win the game for me, because I've always wanted to see the end of the story, and I just couldn't do it. Or just tell me how to do it. I don't know. Right, so that should do what I want. I didn't put the variable height thing into the other table, did I? Where am I? There it is, table height. So tags has table height, layers doesn't. Hey, Games with Jewel. Appreciate you coming in. Glad you're happy with the program. okay, whatever I did does not work. Oh boy, that's fun. Yeah, okay. Oh, of course, because it does leftover space, and and then we draw into it, and then there isn't any leftover space, so it resets back to 0, and then it changes size again. So we draw into it, then it resets, then we change the size, and it. Yeah, I see what happened. Right. How do I... Right, so... Let's do this, where space is that. And then we only set the leftover space if there is leftover space. Oh, no. If space is greater than 0, then we set it. Aha. Right, so that seems to have not really done what I wanted to do. Because that has essentially gone on forever. Let's see, what's this? Wish you could use it with TITS or attach props to parts of your avatar. So you can attach props where you... I mean, with my current one, if you add... you can just add a prop as another layer. So I've got like shades and stuff where we can... Yeah, and sticky notes and things. So the props are... you just add them as a layer, parent them to whichever body part you want it to follow, then it will do that. The other thing is you don't need a Stream Deck add-on because you can use the HTTP. If you go into... Sorry, let's have a look. If I go in my... Let's just shut this one down. And now we have two things open at once. Right. Okay. So in the preferences menu on integration, if you tick this control states via HTTP, then it will show you, you can see in the tooltip there that there's, you just basically call a, you call this URL, put that into a web request action. And you can use that to trigger your state. So if I go on my pet, you can see this link here. And if something follows that link, then the pet state will get activated. And you can use that with Stream Deck if you've got a button that can trigger a web request like that with a script or something. It's a little bit more hands-on than an actual official plugin, but you can do it with, yeah, so I actually do all of mine with StreamerBot already. The head pat that Angie just triggered was that was done with StreamerBot. So there's actually a tutorial for that on the main itch.io page. So yeah. It's called States and Integration, I think, the tutorial. Use StreamerBot to stick a sticky note to my nose when I switch to BRB. Yeah, that's really cool. So, yeah, for some reason this was not doing what I expected it to do. Let's see. Open this, open that. What do we got? So, cursor pos is 782, pop-up height is 432. Okay. Actually, I need to catch that on the first draw, don't I? Actually, unless I don't set that, and then we'll see it properly. Oh no. Should have commented out the if as well, because then that fell down to the end pop-up. Cool. So, yeah. What have we got? So at the end of drawing all of that, the cursor pos is 595, pop-up height is 723, the space is 128. Okay, well that's good. Looks about right. So how do we end up with that? Cursor pos is 782, pop-up height is 432. So leftover space was set to 187. Ah. It was set to 187 when this was closed. That's this gap here. That's what that was. So I need to only do it if one of these is open, I guess. So where are we? I guess up here I'm going to do bool any state for any table drawn is false, and then that becomes true if we draw this. Begin table. Okay. So then if any table is drawn, then we want to calculate this. If any table drawn, check how much space we've got left and fill it, basically. Okay. So that's the normal size for now. But if I do this, it is growing. Not quite as much as I had hoped it would, but it is bigger. Still flickering. Have a look. Cursor pause is 656, pop-up height is 709, so the space is 53. So we set it to that. And then 648, 709, space is 61. Oh. Get window height. Let's try this. Let's get window height instead. Because it could have been that I was calculating from a space that was too small. It seems to be scaled by a certain amount, which is interesting. Yeah, that's not ideal. We don't want it flickering back and forth like that. Yeah, I don't really get why it's jumping back and forth. Because it should be filling it all up to the point where there's no space left on the next one. Unless I do this. Oh! Shock dog time. Actually, so if any table is drawn, it can only increase the leftover space, and otherwise, leftover space just gets set back to 0, so it will hopefully rebuild and apply. And I realise I have sort of got sidetracked from the whole tags thing right now. Cool. So there we go. Yeah, so now that fills up all the space. You get a bit of wiggle on it, but that's fine. It just it takes like one frame to update it, but It's not the worst. Yeah, so if we've got Ducky open and nose to her down there, obviously if we shrink this, that's going to stay there until we close that. Then it goes back to being, okay, almost correct. Oh yeah, because that was actually below the threshold for how big we want the table in the first place. So yeah, okay, that'll do. Right. So now we can finally come to it. So the states get evaluated on sort of on draw anyway. If the state is active, then for each thing in layer states, we're getting that. Oh, the sticky note is invisible past the hot dog outfit. That's dumb. Why is that anyway? Okay, wait, it should be though. What? I'm very confused. I don't know why. I can't even hide the shock dog layer. That's weird. Oh, it's probably just because the state is still active and I can't turn it off. Ah, there you go. So wait, how does that end up below? No, it doesn't. What? What? Okay. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked by various different things. Oh, I think I know why. Because it's hidden by something else. Anyway, right. So actually, for these, I kind of need to loop through every layer. Mm, that's gonna slow things down a bit. Um, I think the cleanest way, the sort of cheapest way to do it is if we've got tag states, then we loop through. Oh wait, that's just going to be this. Oh no, it's not. TS. TS.first. Right, so that should be const. Okay, and then if ts.second is not no change, then we loop through the layers. So for each layer, if l.tag tags.find tag is not equal to l.tags.end. Is that right? Oh yeah, cool. So if we didn't find tag, no, if we did, yeah, if finding tag didn't hit the end of the list, then that means we got that tag in there. So then layer.visible is ts.second l.visible. There you go. Layer, let's do that way. It's not an arrow, it's a, but let's call this layer because it's better than calling it L. So if one of the tag states is actually active, and then it will loop through the layers to find any layer with that tag and set the visibility on it. So yeah, that should hopefully do something. So I need a bunch more layers. So let's call this one's going to be called face. This one will be the icon. And I'll give that the tag of resource. How about that? Save. Duplicate that. Does it still have the tags? Should do. Yep. Cool. So that's going to be called, that's going to be the move one. I'm just going to chuck a bunch of resources in here. This one's going to have the tag of model. Let's have another thing. Let's call this lock Okay. Move things around a bit. Okay, let's save that. The tags won't have saved yet because I haven't written that in, but don't need all these states because they were for the other model, so let's just save that again without the states in there. Add this, so let's see, this one will be G, and I'm going to say hide model. Ah, that works. And this one will be H, and that can be hide resource. Hey, it's working. Cool. Right, so well, that's kind of it, I think. So I need to write in a way of saving which tags are on which layer. So I think what I'll do is I'll save the tags per layer, and then when you load in, it'll build up the list of unique tags again. So on layers, let's go. This layer is, so yeah, we're going to insert insert a tag thing. So call this one tags. So that's just right. Tags. That's what I get for copying and pasting. Tags element. Tags element dot set attribute. No, actually, I need to insert an element for each tag, don't I? Layer dot tags. There we go. Tag element is tags element. Insert a new element t dot c string. Actually, I'll say. Actually, let's call this tag. And then tag will just have the first attribute set as set text. Set text. There you go. That all makes more sense. So set text is just t. We can't take a string. So that's just going to save all the tags as elements. I'm just going to rename this actually as tag list. So let's just get that, and then on load layers, wherever that's gone. There it is. After we've got the name and everything, that's going to be first child element, tags element, if tags element, because we don't want it to crash if somebody doesn't have tags in their file. Then while tag element is first child element tag, should I go next child element? Actually, so first tag is this. And then while tag element then tags dot insert tag element get text. There you go. That should be layer.tags. Layer.tags insert, but also tag list insert. So let's go tag is the text. And then we insert tag into the layer and into the tag list. Insert. There you go. Tag. Because these are unordered sets, so if it already exists, then it won't get added anyway. So it just builds up a unique list of all the tags. And then we go tag element equals tag element next sibling that is a tag, just to be on the safe side. There shouldn't be any other siblings in there, but just to make sure. So, let's see. I didn't mention, by the way, but my plan is that once I get this done, I'm going to switch to Tomodachi Life again. I feel like it's a good reward for having done something productive. Right, so these don't have tags on, so that's going to have a tag of model, save, resource, save, resource, save, and then I can actually click this. Got about that. There you go. Resource. Let's save this file. So, I'm gonna hop into my actual folder and let's see what that looked like. So this is phoneme test.xml. So each layer should now have a tag list. Yes, it does. So that says tag list, tag resource, tag list, tag resource, tag model. Cool. Let's exit and restart. It didn't crash when it loaded, so that's good. And yeah, cool. So that's got the tag. That's got resource. And in here, the states aren't saving yet, so I need to do that. So on save layers, which is saving more than the layers, it's also saving the states. So yeah, states. Right, so for each state in layer states, we're doing that. So do the same kind of idea for the tags. Tag states. If tag state.second is not no change, then basically the same idea. So I'm going to call that a tag state element, actually. Because that should be a little bit cleaner. So on loading, where we load the states, while this layer state, first child element state. Right, so I need to do the same thing, but for tag states. And we're inserting this into tag states. Right, I think that's right. So let's have another look at the XML, because so the states are right. They're called hotkeys, but at the moment they didn't have anything saved. So yeah, so I guess I need to actually open one that does have. Let's chuck Starburst in here. Okay, so they've got state with an ID and a state of either 0 or 1. Cool. Cool, so hopefully this will work just fine. Don't actually need to check for the visible because that was to maintain compatibility with the older version of states where it used to be called visible. So hopefully that will be okay. Succeeded. Good. Run it then. Oh, failed. What did I do? Oh, that's what I did. Redefined a thing. I believe that's the tag name. Mass Effect Andromeda soundtrack. I remember when this game first came out and I was like super hyped about it and really enjoying it, and then like I got further into the game and then it was like, oh, the hype is gone. Right, so that should still have the resource. Yep, good. And tags. So H was going to hide the resources and G was going to hide the model. Save. Reload. Cool. All right, so we've got tag states there. Cool, cool. Let's just actually add in another layer. And I'm going to call this one... Ooh, this is an interesting test, actually. If I say... So it's hiding resource, but actually I want to show move. It's probably still going to be hidden. Yeah. Because the tags are getting resolved after the individual. I think that's good because that sort of works the same way that folders work, where you hide the folder and everything in it is hidden regardless of whether the individual layer was supposed to be visible or not. So I think that's actually what I want. But let's save that and we should see that appear in here. Yeah, so we've got a state with the layer ID being shown and then the tag being hidden. Cool. Well, I think that's done. Pretty much. What I might do, actually, is on the layer headers, put a... I think we'll show the first tag on each layer. Next to the name. I think that sort of makes sense. Obviously, it's an unordered set, so I don't know if that would actually be consistent. So I could probably do it alphabetically. Unless I made it an ordered set, if that's a thing. I don't know if that's a thing at all. Is that a thing? Or would that just be a set? Ooh, no, ordered set seems to exist. Or maybe not. No, it doesn't exist. Okay. What if I just include set? Can I just have a set? Seems like I can. Then we've got errors. Because tag list is undefined, that's why. Oh, maybe that just works. I wonder if unordered set is faster or not. Okay. Interesting. Didn't successfully load the tag effect on there. So H was supposed to be hiding resource and G was supposed to be hiding model. And we've definitely got... Oh, we've got an empty tag state. That's interesting. Right. But when we're loading, we get the first child element that's called tag state. I think I did something wrong here. Yeah, I renamed that to tag ID. That would explain it. So cool. So actually, when I save, when I'm loading, if it's empty, I need to just not put it in. So let's say that's tag ID as well, just to avoid confusion. But then if that's empty, actually, if it's not empty, then we are gonna do this. We only add it if it's not empty, and then it'll only get saved if it's not empty after that as well. So yeah, cool. So G is hiding the model tag, H is hiding the resource tag and showing move. But yeah. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so that's come out fairly well, I reckon. Yeah, so now it's fixed where you've got the tag IDs there and the states. So I'm going to put some tooltips on those tabs because I feel like I need to explain raw states GUI. I need to explain that the tags override the individual layers. Where am I? There we are. Begin tab item layers. And actually the hover goes there, so tooltip. Show or hide individual layers. And app config. Where's that gone? There it is. And that was hover timer. Okay, and then I'm actually going to have yeah. No, just have this on a new line. So go hide layers by tag, and then on a new line, note this supersedes individual layer. Let's say this supersedes the layers tab. No. Supersedes individual layer states. I think that makes sense. Show hide layers by tag. Note this supersedes individual layer state layers. That's show hide individual layers. Okay, that's. I didn't realize that it only shows you the tooltip if it's not selected. Ew. I forgot I had Doctor Who soundtrack in this playlist. All right. I don't know how I don't know how to make the tooltip appear on the currently selected tab, so I'm just going to ignore that. It's fine. Cool. Well, I think that's good. Right, tag layer tags implemented. Meet. I should just test as well that I should test that we can load an old layer set that doesn't have any tags in it, because I don't want things to break. So let's grab Starburst. Yeah, okay. That loaded without breaking. Cool. Oh yeah, I was gonna show the first tag on the header. Forgot. Thanks to Nestel. Thank you. I'm glad you are. Glad you are having fun. I think we're basically ready. Yay! Yippee! I think we're basically ready to call this done. I'm just gonna stick the first tag on the layer. Layer info. Draw GUI. So basically, I need to calculate the text width of the name so that I can put the tag after it. So name, and I'm going to call this is GUI calc text size name. Let's see, string. Dot x plus probably 2 UI units as a guess. Hey Parumpkin, how's it going? So here I'm just going to do a text colored, I think. GUI text color. And I'm going to say that's going to be the first tag. I am coding RahiTuber. I'm adding in the ability to tag a layer so that you can... in fact, I can just show you because I've already done it. you can tag a layer, and now you can tell a state to affect everything in a certain tag. So you can say, you could tag all your accessories as prop, and then one of your states could just hide the prop tag, and then all of those accessories would get hidden. So I'm gesticulating wildly with my hands, and you can't see me doing it, but yeah. So here I'm just going to write the first tag. Is there a first? Or can I just do this? No, there's no... that's not a thing. Right, so tags dot begin. So dereference tags dot begin, and then get the string out of that. Love the update with the mouse shapes. Haven't used it, but yeah, it's definitely not as straightforward as I'd hoped it would be, unfortunately. Just because I refuse to use like a AI listening model, so it doesn't doesn't actually know what letter sound you're making. It's just guessing based on the frequency of your voice. So for each person's voice, it will be different. And I've heard mixed results from different people based on like how it was to set up. So some people have found it was working well and other people haven't. And it's, yeah. But I think it's just one of those things. It's like, it's still better than nothing, but it's not going to be it's not going to work out of the box. You have to do a bit of configuration and stuff. So sorry about that. Right. So the color of the text is going to be GUI all border or button active. Actually, let's go with that. Oh, style, colors, that one. That's not going to work because I've just realized I didn't set the positions correctly. So GUI set cursor pos header buttons pos dot y is actually what I want, but then I want text end. Was it that or was it name end? Name end. Ah, there you go. That doesn't work. Is it possible to make one that's based on key instead of actually listening for real letter sounds like music key? I guess you could, like, at the moment you could hack it to do that with the 4/5 that are available. Yeah, you probably could. Because you can adjust the sort of threshold on the frequencies. But yeah, it would be possible for me to add that sort of thing in, but I feel like it's a fairly niche use case. So unless more people ask for it, I might not actually do that. But you can probably hack it anyway with what you've got. Okay, so that should hopefully draw a tag on the header next to the name. Aha, there we go. Lock resource model. Throwing ideas out like a workaround. Fair enough. Cool. Slightly misaligned though, so I think I'm going to do GUI. Align text to frame padding. There. Oh, I didn't put a colon. Try that again. Yippee. Okay, that's slightly better. Still not perfect, annoyingly. This song is such a banger. Oh, I broke it. because I dereferenced the start of the tags list even when there aren't any tags. Should have seen that coming. If tags has anything in it, then we can do it. Actually, let's do that up here before I change that value, then maybe it'll work. Okay, we need a song for battling big alien monsters on a planet. How about a rock ballad about domestic violence? Yeah, I know, right? It's very odd. That's why he's the goat. Okay, that's good. That's now lined up nicely. Cool. I'll get rid of that then. Name end probably could be less. He might be samey and a bit random at times, but I love his work. Yeah. It's just something about the style of music that he makes. Really cool. If I add a new layer and I call it, and then I give it a tag of egg. Yeah. That sits there at the end of the name. So that looks like that works. Cool. Let's just swap the themes around and see what this looks like in different themes. Okay, it's not that readable on the contrast theme. But it does look pretty good. Excuse me. Ugh. Hay fever's kicking my ass at the moment. Could be worse, to be honest. I've had it much worse before, but I'm already getting fed up of sneezing. Right. I'm going to call that done. Thank you. I probably won't get better soon because hay fever tends to last all the way until like late November. But yeah. Hey, Dark Kiss, thank you for coming in. Just to make it through. Yay! Appreciate you bringing your people in here. I've just wrapped up on adding layer tags to RahiTuber. So yeah, That's a thing now. So we can. I'll show you the raid video. Yeah, gotta have a Bionicle raid video. So you can see I've tagged all these layers with resource and this one with model. You can do it in the rename menu. So you can press plus and click an existing one, or you can type one in. So yeah, there's that. Then in here on the states, instead of showing and hiding things by individual layer, you can do it by tag. So I have my G key set to hide everything with the model tag, which is just the face. And then I have my H key set to hide everything with the resource tag, which is the top 3 layers. So if I just press H now, all those layers go invisible. So it's a way of doing it without having folders. So you don't have to have everything all the same place. So I can have model like in the middle of this and still hide all the resource layers as if they were in a folder. They're just not. So yeah, it's a way of, because as well, the other thing is if I were to duplicate this layer and we have a second lock now. Let's move it slightly. So we know we've got 2 of those. It's still got the resource tag, so my state will still work. So yeah. Somebody suggested this on the itch community page a while ago. Or like they wanted something else, and yeah, they wanted something else, and I was like, I think I can do this, but I'll do it as tags. So yeah, we are doing nerd stuff again, but I'm just about to switch to Tomodachi Life. So I'm going to BRB, I'm going to grab a drink, I'm going to get the Switch and plug it in, and then we will swap to Tomodachi Life. Thank you for sticking around for the dev stream. And yeah, I'll see you in roughly 3 minutes or something. All right, BRB.
Imagine you're going fast. Who would you want to join you? It's not just because you're asking, but I'd obviously pick you, Rocket Racer.
Cannon. The smirk on Rocket. I literally did it as accurate as I could to the original game design. Like they did it like that. That's how they designed